Hello. Welcome to this new video. This time we are going to be talking about calendar phishing, which is different than email phishing. I'm sure that all of you know what an email phishing is. A user receives an email that contains a suspicious or malicious link or message with the intent of trying to trick the user into performing actions they don't want to do. So we know that, we understand that concept. However, attackers have been exploiting lately the automation in Outlook and Office 365 when it comes to meeting invites. And when a user receives a meeting invite to be added to the calendar, Microsoft bypasses many security controls for that specific event so that that event can be automatically populated in the user's calendar as a placeholder or maybe as a meeting, even if the user has not accepted that specific invitation. As you can see, this is not a vulnerability in the code or vulnerability in the configuration. The attackers are getting smarter and they're trying to use the normal business operations and how Microsoft makes the life easier for us as a way to try to gain the trust of the users and exploit vulnerabilities in the users by using, among many different things, in this case, social engineering. So let me show you what I have here because I have gotten many of these emails lately. So let me show you one of my calendars. And again, this is a test domain that I use, and I do have emails on this test domain, right, that I use. So attackers somehow found a way to, hey, they went fishing, right? They're looking for victims, and what they did, they sent me an email pretending to be from Microsoft. As you can see here, it says is an scary email. It says action required, Microsoft domain expiring, email services affected. Now, anybody that sees anything like that obviously is going to react right away. But the message could be anything else. If the attackers are exploiting the the DMARC misconfiguration, or if the victim does not have a DMARC policy in place, something that I saw quite often is attackers creating calendar events as if they're coming from the same user. So imagine this, like in this account that I have, this account is jdiaz at precisetech.com. Imagine if I see an event, a calendar event for today saying, pay Verizon bill, here's the link, right? And that link is a malicious link and it is coming from me. If I was the one who added it, I could trust that event more than anything else, because even if I don't remember adding the event, I'm going to say, you know what, maybe I did it in the past, and I click on that. Or if you're in a company and you see a meeting with your manager's name in the calendar, let's say, hey, we need to meet on this day to talk about this project. For the agenda, click on this link. If you see that coming from your manager, you are more likely to click on it because there's a level of trust right there between you or your manager, even though that email is coming from a spoofed or malicious source, or not that email, the specific event. So as you could see, there is a lot of social engineering involved that can take place for these attacks to be successful. So let me show you what I got here. So I see action require Microsoft domain. Oh my God, what's going to happen? My domain is going to expire. And as you could see, you're going to see here like that different email. These are aliases that I have. So they did a pretty good job finding the aliases and finding everything to send this to. So as you could see, there's a link. So my natural reaction is okay, let me double click on that. But before you double click on anything that you don't know, and I have created multiple videos for that, make sure that you do it in a safe environment, in a sandbox, right? So in this case, I have my Linux or Ubuntu computer here. Let me bring it over. This is my calendar. And I downloaded that link because if I have any doubts, I'm going to say, you know what, let me download it and analyze it. So I downloaded that link and I'm going to go to Virus Total. And once I get here, I'm going to upload the file that I downloaded. And you may be asking, what file did I download? The attachment that they added to the invite. So if I bring my calendar back here, where is it? As you could see, the calendar invite has an attachment. All of them do, right? So once I do that, I'm going to analyze this and look at what happens here. Surprise, surprise, right? So that file contains malicious code and it was flagged by a popular anti-malware solutions, Microsoft, Google, ESET, and Avast. So as you could see, it is very easy for anybody to fall for that depending on how much work the attackers put into it. And if it was some type of a spear phishing or targeted attack, you could see how effective this can be. Now, what we're going to do now, let's find out how we can protect against it. Now, is there a protection? That's the first question. So, first of all, there's no quote unquote protection without affecting the normal flow of how the system works. You can stop events like this from popping up in your calendar. But if you do, you're not going to stop only the attacker's event from popping up in your calendar. You're going to stop all events, even the events that are legitimate. So that may be something that you want to consider. You could do a couple of things on this on the application side, and you could do other things uh, on depending if you're using the desktop version or if you're using the web version. So if you're using Outlook desktop as your email client, you can go to the File Options Mail Tracking of your menu, and then you're going to scroll down to the section that says Automatically Process Meeting Requests and Responses to Meetings Requests and Polls, right? So you can remove these options. Now, remember, if you disable these options, then you're going to have more work and you have to pay more attention to your calendar because those meeting invites that you're going to receive are not going to put a placeholder on that time slot and you may have calendar conflicts. So that's something that you have to analyze your unique situation and then take action appropriately if that's what you want to do. And if we're using Outlook Web Access, let me bring Outlook Web Access here. You also go to Settings, View All, not this, events from events and invitations. And then from here, you're going to find. Now, how do you address this? As I mentioned, like the way you're going to fix this is limited. We don't have that many options. I would say for starters, make sure that you're protecting spoofing emails, at least to alleviate some of the vulnerabilities of emails coming from within your domain. because if they come from within your domain, you're going to have, or users are going to be able to fall for that easier than coming from another domain. Also, make sure that you ask yourself, did I schedule this event or this meeting? Right? Think about it if that makes any sense to you. Also, look at the links that are added on that email. Do they make any sense? Like, as I mentioned to you, I was able to do a virus total to see if that link that was attached to it was legitimate or not. Perhaps adding those type of attachments to your meetings is not common. So right there is a red flag. So you don't have to think about it. Also, if that's something that came from somebody that you trust, reach out to them and ask them, did you schedule this meeting? Is this information that I have in my calendar legitimate? And also, use common sense, right? If you don't know something, just don't click on it.